Okay, here we go with single note picking. And just one thing to keep in mind, if we need to change our approach on doing this stuff, we need to scale it back a little bit. This way you can, get used to the muting technique and all that stuff. That's fine. We'll do that. We're gonna get to the hard stuff. We definitely will. So with that in mind, you can do stuff here to ease into it all. So instead of just going through the whole thing right away, you got those, your 3 notes in a row, right? Like the groups of 3 notes. Repeat those as many times as you need to feel comfortable with each different group. So what I mean, starting out, get used to that. Just do that until that feels okay. And then go to the A string. And just do that until it feels okay. And then same thing with the D string. So as you change strings, remember, you're going to have to move your picking hand to cover those lower strings that are not being used anymore. When you move your, to make sure you're in a good muting position, pick directly over the neck pickup. Excuse me. Yeah, pick directly over the neck pickup, because if you don't, what's most likely going to happen is your hand's going to drift too far this way and to where you normally play, and then you're going to start having all those strings ringing out. So just keep your hand over here, and yeah, this part of your hand, at least that part of my hand, is going to be resting on those strings to keep them quiet. And then, when you're on the low E string, your index finger is going to be touching all those higher pitch strings. So something you can do to make sure you're muting it right, just hold the 1 fret down, barely touch the other strings, and strum everything. So you don't want that. You want this. And then you can do that on the A string as well. But here's the thing. When you go to hold the A string, you need to have that index finger up underneath the low E. And that's one of those things that's shown up close in that other video. So worth watching that again for sure. If you're doing it right, you really just hear that note coming through. You got some percussive sounds as well. I mean, that's going to happen when, you're blasting all 6 strings. So it's not going to sound just like this. You will hear some percussive stuff, but it's not going to be like that. And you can also practice holding it on like maybe the 6th fret. So if you have that low E come through, that'll sound really nasty. Now doing it on the D string, well, you gotta be a bit more careful with how you're holding it. So you could use your thumb over the top to mute it. Oops, that was bad. There you go. See, holding it in a really bad, holding a note that's very abrasive. That made it jump out real easy. So that can definitely help make sure you're holding it right. And if you don't want to deal with thumb over the top to mute the E string, you just want to focus on index finger placement, just make sure you're only strumming those 5 strings. And this can help you get a good feel to how the index finger should be. And yeah. So yeah, the index needs to be up underneath the adjacent string. So that was a big part of that video. Basically, the summary is your index finger on the fretting hand is supposed to mute all the higher pitched unused strings, and then your picking hand is supposed to mute all the lower pitched unused strings. But the index finger also needs to be up underneath the adjacent string, because sometimes the picking hand just can't quite get to that string. For example, if I'm playing on the high E string, yeah, the picking hand is going to be muting the E, A, D, and G for sure. Maybe not so much the B, because I don't want to, accidentally palm mute the E string, or the high E string. So the index finger needs to be up underneath that in order to keep it quiet. So anyway, yeah, so just take your time with getting used to all of these. Make sure the E string feels okay. Make sure the A string feels okay, nice and quiet. Anytime you hear excess noise, just take a look at both hands. It's usually going to be the picking hand, though. And just make sure everything's covered up. Yeah, picking-wise is down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So, yeah, for the 7, 8, 10, you're going to use your first, second, and fourth. For the 7, 9, 10, use your first, third, and fourth. And for me, doing the whole step on the 8, 10, and 12, I need to use my ring finger. It just feels best for my wrist and all that. I think you prefer your middle finger, if I remember correct, and that's totally fine. Just make sure you stay consistent with that, okay? So with all that being said, let's demonstrate. I'll turn off that accent. Wrong button. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, remember, it's totally fine to watch your hands. I watch mine all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's a very good thing to do when you're trying to learn new things and make sure your technique is correct. So yes, watch the hands. It's a good thing to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 2. So same idea with this one. Make sure each string feels okay and it sounds good, and just ease your way into it. Just ease into the whole thing. So if that means, day 1 you're not using the metronome to work it up faster, that's okay. That's okay. We want to get that technique solid. So yeah, just repeat each thing a few times, or as many times as you need to. Make sure it sounds good. Here we go. Wrong window selected. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bad. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 3. Okay, yeah, so this one, beyond the muting and all that, or besides the muting, I should say, picking, making sure you do strict alternate picking. So you want to go down, up, down, the whole time. So what happens with a lot of people is they do what I call accidental economy picking. So what that is they will go down, up, down, down. So they'll do 2 downstrokes in a row, down, up, down, down, and then do an up. Now, I understand why a lot of people feel that that's the best way to do it because of the whole economy of motion. Because obviously, if you're just going to go, just between those two notes, yeah, it makes sense. Just go straight down. Of course, if you're doing sweep picking, you have to go one smooth motion there. But this is different. This is, we're doing like scale type thing, runs like this. So my thing is, you want to make sure you can lock into that really fast picking instead of trying to, stop that motion, do 2 downstrokes in a row, and then stop the motion, 2 upstrokes in a row, things like that. Because, when you lock into that, I mean, there's a fair amount of tension, good tension, because, you're just picking away like a crazy person. So, being able to lock into that, that's going to yield the fastest kind of thing for like scale run stuff like that possible. At least that's my very strong belief. So that's one reason why we want to make sure we're doing down, up, down, up, down. And it's also to have good control. We want that picking control. Because if you're doing the economy picking thing and you don't even realize it, which is what a lot of people do, that's why I call it accidental economy picking. It's one thing if you're doing it on purpose. It's another thing if you're doing it by accident. And, that means you don't have control over what you're doing. So we want to make sure we have control so we can get the most out of our playing. So he got basically 3 things here. And the way it's written, you're already playing each thing twice. But just like the other things, work on just a small portion until it sounds correct, it feels okay, and you're picking it right. So just loop, just over and over again. Just loop that first part. And you can even work it up with a metronome, just that. You can do, 1 bar at a time, 2 bars at a time, that's fine. Just make sure you got the picking right, the muting's done well, and then practice the other section. Just over and over again. Down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down. Same thing for the last one. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, up, down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, up, down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, up, down, up, down. Done. 1, 2, 3. One, two, 1, 2, 3. One, two, 1, 2, 3. And there we go. All right. Any questions come up, let me know, and I will see you again next week.